Well, we didn't quite make it to the fence line up here. We got another low spot I figured I'd stop check out. Pretty much identical to the last spot, guys. Really a pretty nice trail coming through it, going up to the beans, but the beans are gone now. So I'm gonna probably throw a dog proof in here. The cover's not tight enough for a 220. We'll throw one in here. It's low, it's easy to access, but my main spot I want to check out and I'm excited about is up here. So but don't be afraid to set these, guys. If you have the equipment to do it, throw one in. You know, it takes you literally drive by and check it from the road, and if you have one, it's easy to get to. You know, and just adding, say, this spot and the last spot that we're just at, if I catch 2 coon between both of them, that's 2 more coon, and it didn't really cost me anything but maybe 5 minutes from the whole process of looking from the road, staking them, baiting them. You know, and it doesn't take long at all. This isn't a big bridge that I'm climbing down. So, but we'll get up here and check out this fence line. All right, guys, here's our trail at the fence line. It's not that great. You know, it might be somewhere where you pick up 1 or 2 coon. It just does not stand out much. But you can tell, you know, they're going right through that hole in the fence. A lot of the times you can tell if a raccoon's using it or not. If you've got the woven wire fence, the grass grows right up through that fence, but you'll see a little hole where the grass isn't there, it got knocked away, and that's what that is, where something's going through it. You know, and that helps determine, you know, if it's a deer path, they're going over it. But with that grass pushed out of that little square there, you can tell that some kind of fur-bearing animal is going through it, whether it's a raccoon, a possum, skunk, you know, anything. But not the greatest location, but yeah, we're gonna throw a dog proof on it, you know, and we'll move down here. We're getting back into corn country, and that's good for me. I'm excited about that. We had some dead run back there that we're able to get a few sets in, but nothing that I look forward to. It's just kind of a filler, as I'd call it. But we're gonna go down here. We got a nice timber to timber location that I'm excited to show you. Man, I'm glad I slowed down today. I have never seen this trail here. It's just a really, really nice mud trail going right up here, right next to this tree. The landmark, basically just this tree that's bigger than the rest. This is all just a nice big timber with a bottom in it, and it's coming from a fence line that goes to corn. The only landmark here is this big tree. You know, it's one of those things, these things I'm showing you work on road lines, but they also work if you're on private ground. If you're in the timber, find these big trees. Or if you're going along a cornfield edge, you know, bordering the timber on private ground, find these big trees. There's gonna be trails coming off these big trees, off the waterways, you know, the points, what I'd call little draws that come out to an end. Find them, find anything that sticks out, because that's where these coon trails are gonna be. I was planning on going down here to the bottom to showing you this culvert down here from timber to timber. Tell you how good of a spot that is, but we kind of got caught before we got there. So definitely a good spot. This is also a spot where here in southern Iowa we got quite a few bobcats. They're gonna run this. If I can find some way to rig up a snare in here, I will, but it's pretty low overbrush. There's not much here other than the trail, so probably end up just having to put some dog proofs in it. But, you know, awesome trail nonetheless. Definitely something that, you know, there's going to be 2 or 3 more coon at the end of the year, and that 2 or 3 more coon might get you to the number that you want. So always look for these points sticking out, guys. We're going to go down to that bottom now. All right, guys, here we are. It's hard to see, but there's a culvert here. This is just a nice mature timber coming from another nice mature timber. As I said before, these are the spots that you can hit all season long. We got the culvert here, and you can actually see the discoloration in the mud where the trail is coming out. It actually splits off 2 ways. It goes up through here and comes up through here too. Just a great location. We'll put a couple dog proofs out here, and generally on spots like this, I'll set this with my regular road line 5 or 6 days. You know, once I pull everything out. but I always take note on where these are at, these timber to timber locations. When the boars are rutting in January, I'm setting primarily these locations. So another great spot. We're gonna go up here to this intersection, take a left. There's a trail that I found there last year that I've been driving past. That was just phenomenal. So can't wait to show you that one. I was hoping to get you guys to that corner and show you my stuff down there, but we didn't make it. This is a trail, I've never seen it before this year. This is, you know, not a crazy high profile trail, but this is definitely a nice trail coming out of this timber yet. You know, we made it, oh, I'm gonna say we're just over 100 yards from that bottom, but just a really, really nice trail. And I can tell it's coon trail because once it gets to right in here, it's going underneath some branches and stuff, small weeds that are maybe 10 inches off the ground. And that's how I can tell that it's coon or a possum or skunk are using this. And this year I'm fine with catching all three. So just a great trail, you know, something we can pick up coon or two on, and it's literally a foot down again. So perfect. Low energy usage and high percentage set. Can't beat that. Let's go down here and just past this corner and I'll show you what I've been wanting to show you. Well, we still haven't made it to where I want to go, but we got sidetracked again. There's a really nice trail coming down again through this timber. Just absolute nice trail. And I can tell it's a raccoon trail. Just, I mean, I can just tell. I mean, it probably has something to do with all these tracks coming out of it. But, you know, even, I'm not saying deer wouldn't use this. There's nothing as far as low overhanging stuff they're going under to determine that. But this is definitely somewhere I can throw a couple dog proofs on and not worry about deer or anything. But definitely another great location. I haven't seen this one either, so that's 2 locations we just picked up from last year in, oh, I don't know, 50 yards maybe. You know, each one of them catches 2 coon. That's 4 more coon to our total, and that might make a difference. Every spot like this, you can just add them up. So another great spot, but I still haven't got to where I want to show you, which is right over here. That'll be our last spot to film for the day, but I'll get over there and show you what we got. Alright guys, this is a spot I trapped last year. I hadn't seen it before last year, but I set a 220 right there, and I caught, I want to say 6 or 7 raccoons out of, I think I was here on this one for 8 days maybe. I mean, it was consistent, one nice boar every day. Just a really subtle trail. There's a field on the other side of this. There's actually a fence line right here that comes back to the left. But just the brush along a fence line, it's a really nice trail down here. Cut across the other side, and this is where I actually saw it when I was driving. Just a really, really nice trail. Doesn't stick out a lot, but I think this is what people are driving past. They think, oh, that's nothing, you know. There's so many of these nothing trails that you're gonna pick up a lot of coon. You know, in this video, so far, I showed you one bridge. That's the only bridge that I've actually set up on so far. Let's see here, what number are we at? This will be spot number 62. If you remember this, so far on this route, I started at 32. So we got 30 locations, and I reset at that coyote spot. So we've gone less than 6 miles for 30 locations. I mean, these spots, they're there, guys. Just look for them. You know, trails like this that they pop so easy. I mean, people drive past them, but they're there. You just gotta keen your eye to find them. You know, we turned left here, but if you turn right, that's somewhere I'm probably gonna check out. I don't remember going down that road. There's a nice bottom there, and a bridge, and cornfield, and trees. Something I'm definitely gonna have to check out before season starts. Get this pre-scouting done, but you know, there's a bridge there. We only set on that one bridge today. Out of the 30 locations, we set one bridge. I've kind of got a lot of heat from some people saying, oh, you're missing most of the coon, they're under these bridges. And I'm not disagreeing, there's a lot of coon that run those bridges. And that's where I started, was just a water trapper. but I've learned to pick up on things like this. And you know, I'm not exactly a spring chicken anymore, and I'm not as light as one either, you know, but these spots like this, they're so easy to get to, so convenient. Yeah, I can go down below that bridge down here, and I could probably set 6 or 8 really good sets. So the next day I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna check those traps. I'm gonna be down underneath that bridge for probably 10 to 15 minutes. By the time I get everything dispatched, remake the pockets because chances are they tore them up, or clean out the dog proofs because they always get filled with mud and sand down there, get them set. Now I've got, I'm guessing, probably a 20-25 foot incline with say 3 or 4 coon, all my baits, the gun. I'm beat. I'm worn out by doing that. That takes way more energy than I would say probably setting 8 or 10 of these. They're so much more convenient, and at the end of the day, I've still got to go home to my family. My daughter's 3, she loves playing with dad, always wants to do puzzles and stuff. I got to make sure I have the energy to be a dad and to be a husband, and you know, my family comes first regardless. Sometimes my wife might disagree with me come trapping season, but it's just, these take so much less energy, and it's up to every individual's different. You know, if I was 18, 19 again, yeah, I'd probably be setting every bridge I could because I could run and gun, but I can't. I have a certain amount of energy and I've got to use it wisely. A couple years ago, I got very, very sick and almost ended up in the hospital because I ran too hard and wore myself down. So you gotta pace yourself, but move quickly, if that makes sense. You gotta be efficient. Things like this, literally, I mean, I'm talking, guys, this is a 2-foot depression here. I'm getting, you know, 3 steps and I'm down there checking that trap, taking the animal out, 3 steps and I'm back in. You know, I try and do every spot, and a long spot like this, if I have 1 trap and a coon in it, a long stop's gonna be 1.5 minutes. And it's so much more easier on my body, my knees, my back, and it just works for me. And I'm not telling you guys to avoid them, but I'm saying you don't have to set those to get coon. So, anywho, that's gonna be the end of filming today. The wind's supposed to pick up. It's 11 o'clock right now. I started scouting this morning right at about 8 o'clock. So I got 3 hours with 62 locations. My first route is gonna be, I'm guessing, 180 stops. You know, my second one's gonna be about the same. So we've got a lot of scouting left to do. I highly encourage, if you're going for any type of numbers, get out, find these trails beforehand, mark them out, kind of like I've done in my book, and pre-stake. You know, pre-staking, it helps you so much. You would not believe. I can get out, I'll probably have out 250 traps opening day. If I start right at 8 o'clock, I am probably done setting by 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a long day, don't get me wrong, but you know, I'll probably have close to 40 hours of scouting and mapping that if I wait opening day, it's too late. You know, you're not gonna get the line out that you want. So anywho, guys, I'm gonna sign off here and get headed home. I got some family stuff to take care of, but probably gonna do another scouting one probably later in the week. I got another area I'd really like to show you, but you know, we went literally less than 6 miles with 30 stops, guys, and there's even some dead stuff in between with beans. So find these locations, pick up these raccoons that you're driving past every year. So anywho, we'll talk to you later, guys.